What's up everybody, David here, and today we're going to be checking out the brand new Parallax bass processing plugin from Neural DSP. Parallax is a multi-band bass distortion plugin for creating anywhere from very lightly distorted bass tones to just overly crazy distorted, absolutely crushing bass tones. We're going to keep it simple today. We're going to jump into a session where I used Parallax. I'm going to show you the tone I used, show you a little bit around the plugin, and give you my overall thoughts. Now once again, just like last week, I'm using a new song in this demo that you guys have not heard before. This one is called Radio Silence, and it will actually be out this Friday the 19th. So if you want to get your hands on this song, if you want to mix these multi-tracks when it comes out, make sure to subscribe to my channel and keep an eye out because like I said, this song is coming out July 19th this Friday. But of course I'm going to mute all the vocals and such because I can't give you everything today. So let's get started. So let's just go ahead and mute all the vocals like I mentioned, and this is what that song currently sounds like. And this is what the bass tone sounds like on its own using Parallax. Sounds pretty killer. Now a little bit of information about this tone and the guitar that I used. It is a Schecter Riot 5 session bass tuned to drop G. On the low string we have 170 gauge just to keep the tightness playable. But that's the bass I used for this recording. I'll put a picture somewhere on the screen here. Yeah, and that's the kind of gear I used. Now real quick, before we get into Parallax, I want to mention the only thing happening after this plugin is two really simple things. One of them is running into the FG stress in the virtual mix rack. I put this on all of my bass tones on the bass guitar aggressive setting. It just sounds killer. And then after that, we have some very minimal EQ. We just have a high pass filter and then a quick notch just to take out some ringy frequencies. And this C6 is actually doing nothing to the bass. It is actually sidechained to the bass drop so that when the bass drop comes in, it's ducking out the low end on the bass, but otherwise it's not doing anything to change the bass tone. The only thing you hear potentially altering the tone at all is the FG stress, which I will turn off while we're checking out the plugin. Alright, so this is the main plugin window. So this is where you do all your distortion for the mid and high bands. You have an equalizer, just like regular bass amp. You have a low compression so that you can compress just the low end of the bass and keep it consistent, which is fantastic. And then the next screen over, like every Neural DSP plugin, you have your cabinet simulator. Here you can blend two mics together, change your mic types, load custom cabinets, move the mics around the speaker cone, and even change the distance, so how far away the mic is from the speaker grill. So the tone I used for this song was a Martyr's Fingers, which is just a tone I liked from one of the artists. So this plugin comes with a bunch of different engineers' tones. We have Kane Churko, we have Nolly Get Good, Dave Otero, a bunch of big names that have contributed custom tones for this plugin. So the Martyr's Fingers was made by, oh man, I forgot. Oh, Henrik. Okay, he made that tone and I just kind of alternate for this song. But what we're going to do is I'm going to load up defaults and we're going to create a tone right now. So even out of the box, it sounds fantastic. So let's work on the low compression first. So here you can adjust what portion of the low end you're compressing and even the level of the low end itself. So if we turn everything back on, we can increase the low end level. Now let's focus on that mid band. Alright, this sounded pretty cool. Now let's check out that high distortion. Once again, just like the low end, you can control what portion of the highs you want to distort, the level, and the amount of drive, just like the mid distortion. Now, for plugins like this, I usually don't like to distort the mids too much. Now, sometimes I will if I'm looking for that type of tone, but a lot of the time I want to keep the mids kind of clean so you get the pick attack, but then I want to dial in the high distortion to give you that grit. So that's kind of what I did here. The mids are left kind of clean. They are distorted, but it's not too fuzzy or anything. And then we dialed in the mids here, or the upper mids on the EQ here, and it sounded pretty good. Alright, now let's check out the cabinet, see if we can dial in the tone a little bit more. So I'm just going to mute one of these mics for now and just focus on one. I like that 421 quite a bit. I'm going to keep that pretty bright here. Now let's check out the other mic. I like the low end on that 906 quite a bit. When you pull that mic back, the low end just gets much more round, and that sounds really cool. So let's blend these together now. We're going to turn the 906 all the way down and just blend it in with the 421. Let's check in the mix one more time. Now that's obviously pretty dirty, and we don't have to get the tones that dirty all the time. So let's dial it back and see if we can get a more cleaner tone. Now, that was incredibly easy. I don't know why Studio One is doing that to me, but it is. But that was incredibly easy to dial it back and get a more subdued, yet still distorted bass tone. Let's check that in the mix. I almost prefer that a little bit more. Like I said, if you dial back on the mid distortion a little bit, that pick attack comes through the song just a little bit more, which I really like. Now, we could do a little bit of EQing after this. I'm not going to get too much into dialing in the tone 100%, but this is pretty much mix ready as it sits. But I do want to see what it sounds like with the FG stress on it. Now guys, this really just scratches the surface on what this plugin is capable of. In a lot of these tones, there's everything from, like I said, there's presets for low gain tones to just absolutely crushing, crazy distorted tones. But really the sky's the limit with this plugin. I really think Neural DSP knocked it out of the park because this kind of solves the problem, not problem that people were having, but this to me eliminates the need to split your bass track into two tracks, because typically people want to split the high end to distort, and then they want to split the low end to compress. This plugin does it all in one shot. It seems like they really listened to the community and they've seen what the community is doing and then made a plugin that just simply does it all. To be completely honest, I haven't found anything in this plugin that I do not like. The presets are fantastic, it sounds unbelievable, the user interface is incredibly easy and intuitive, and it even comes with the standalone programs that you can just plug in your bass and play without the need of a DAW. Now, this is the trial version of the plugin, but honestly, I like it so much, I am 100% going to buy it. And I would definitely recommend that you guys also download the free 14-day trial and give it a shot, because I really feel like you're going to like it as well. And that's all I have to say today. Parallax is amazing. Neural DSP knocked it out of the park again. And of course, make sure to subscribe to my channel and make sure to keep an eye out for this new song, Radio Silence, when it comes out this Friday, July 19th. As I just said, don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, ring the bell so you get notified when I post new content. And on that note, my name is David. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.